All right, we're going to start with Boom Bust Sleeper. This is going to be a segment that we're going to do throughout the season as our rankings adjust. So we're going to start, Michael. I'm going to have you start. Give me a guy that's going to boom this year.
I'll go ahead and tell you Curtis Samuel, bruh.
Curtis Samuel.
Without a doubt. I know everybody's on him already, but I've been on him since he came into the league, bruh. It's
Why do
a
you say that?
guaranteed boom. Panthers wide receiver 1. Souped up Ted Ginn if he could run routes. It's going to be unbelievable, dude. 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns minimum.
Well, the news out of Panther camp is that Curtis Samuel is
Wide
going
receiver
to
1.
be wide receiver 1. And I know Dylan feels otherwise.
I still have confidence in DJ Moore, but I've flaked a little bit on it lately as I've seen Curtis Samuel highlights in training camp and stuff that doesn't really matter until we get into the season.
You know, it's funny because whenever you see the stuff out of training camp, all you see are like wide receiver and defensive back drills. You don't see any.
The one-on-one
you don't-
drills
you
where
don't
the
see
defensive back is always
I don't
at
see
a
the defensive back
disadvantage.
a lot in Curtis Samuel's drills. I just don't. I don't know if I got a bad feed or what. But I see him right all over DJ Moore, like he's wearing him like a jacket.
I will say this though, us being Panther homers, and you guys, anybody that's listening to this podcast, is gonna figure that out. We are all from North Carolina, so we're big Panthers fans. You gotta figure out the news with and what we've seen so far from Cam Newton's shoulders. Got to be positive for that entire camp.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. He'll do it with Greer.
Well,
He doesn't care. Kyle Allen.
I've heard a lot of people believe that Will Greer would unleash this offense. I think I read on Twitter the other day that DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel would be the Thielen and Diggs in Carolina if Will Greer was at the helm.
Curtis Samuel, wide receiver 1, and he's halfback too. Something happens to McCaffrey, who you putting back there? Scarlett? Nope.
That's true.
that is true. All right, Dylan, give us a boom.
Gosh, at boom, I'm gonna have to go with Derrick Henry. My man, Derrick Henry. I think that I think they're just gonna feed him until he throws up, and I do not. They haven't had anything in the offseason to make me believe that anyone's gonna be.
He was a
significantly
top-tier halfback over the second half of the season.
over the
Well,
second half of the season into the
but-
playoffs. He looked good, and now all they have is Deion Lewis, who proved that he wasn't a part of the team barely in the playoffs, and who they had Alex Barnes, a late round running back.
I'm not familiar with that name.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. We'll get into Derrick Henry more. I'm sure
He'll
as the
plot all
podcast
over the
goes.
place this season, bro. It doesn't matter.
Fly. That's not.
If Mariota stays healthy, you got a shot.
Yeah, he is a thumper. That's for sure. My boom is DJ. I think David Johnson is an absolute steal right now in drafts. I think he's going outside the top 5 in backs now if running backs keep holding out. I think DJ could get back to form with that offense. New coach. I think Kyler Murray is going to be an absolute stud, and we'll talk more about him in a little bit. I think with that offense, last year it was as bad as it possibly could get.
Yeah,
in
if
the
you
Cardinals camp.
if you erase that whole last year where the Cardinals were just horrible, then you still have DJ in the conversation with Barkley, CMC, Zeke.
Even last
That
year,
top
David
tier.
Johnson still a halfback 1.
Yeah, he was
Think
still,
about that.
He finished at 9th.
Yeah,
It wasn't pretty, but he did it.
It was absolutely disgusting. I think that they're going to sling it all over the field. I think that they're changing the offense. They're going to run
This
the
Kyler
the
guy's
big
kind of
offense.
short, though, bruh.
Well, it does. You don't have to be tall to dump it off to DJ. I think they're going to move him all over the field. I think he's a surefire. That's kind of a no-brainer.
the
for
only
me.
thing that worries me is when DJ was at his best, there was no Chase Edmonds, and Chase Edmonds does not look bad. Last year with his given touches, he balled out.
Yeah, I think with it though, regardless of how much he's going to be contested for touches, even if I don't think it's going to be a whole lot, I think at worst it's going to be an 80-20 split.
Yeah,
But I think their offense is going to move so well. I think they're going to score a lot of points. Now Cliff Kingsbury. The jury's still out on him as far as a head coach, and we're going to see how many teams that they can stop. But I think their offense is going to move. I think the Cardinals' offense is going to be great for fantasy football.
Why don't you trade Zeke for him in the Dynasty League then?
I'm not there yet, but the closer the season gets and the longer he holds out, we may make that happen. Michael, give me a bust.
Let's see. I got on my show sheet here for the bust. Oh, DJ Moore.
DJ
Wow.
Moore. Tell me why you think DJ Moore.
They're not going to throw enough for 2 receivers to take the next step in this offense. DJ Moore will put up about the same numbers he put up last season. And it's going to be kind of a disappointment for you.
Okay, so let's talk this. DJ Moore. I've got DJ Moore. Let's find him here. Where do I have him at?
I think you have 58.
58.
Great after the tackle, sure.
So I have him going in the top 5 rounds. 58 is where I have him. Let's see. What about do you think he's going to surpass? Do you think he's worth taking a 5th round, 6th round pick? I have him right there.
Absolutely not. I'm
No,
taking Allen
come on.
Robinson before him. I'm taking Sammy Watkins before him.
That's crazy.
I'm taking any receiver with a pulse in that round
You're taking
before him.
Sammy Watkins.
Oh yeah,
DJ
I won't take a white receiver above him like Julian Edelman or something, but I will absolutely take the rest of those guys.
DJ Moore was
100%.
one of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen in the past couple of years coming out of college. And all
Says
you're
he.
basing this on is a Cam Newton season where his shoulder was injured, and he still didn't look bad his rookie season.
Oh, he played fine, and he'll do great as the number 2.
Okay. So here's the question. While we're talking about it, since we are Panthers owners, who's going to hurt the most in this Panthers offense with the addition of both Samuel and DJ Moore? Is it going to be Christian McCaffrey's targets coming out of the backfield? Do you think he's going to be affected at all with targets in these
Absolutely.
two
Yeah.
You saw McCaffrey's peak season last year.
guys? You think that is his ceiling?
Yeah,
You saw it.
I heard them say that they were going to limit his time on the field but not limit his touches. So I don't know what
Well,
that
hold on,
means.
you got to
but
be on the field to get touches.
yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
He's gonna touch
But
it.
I'm not saying he'll have a bad year, but every time I turn around that guy last year, man, 30-point fantasy game, 30-point fantasy game. It's not
Yeah.
happening this year
I don't
like
think
that.
he's. I think I got Barkley and Elliott, and they're on tier. McCaffrey not quite in there like most people believe.
What about
I-
Kamara? If you had to pick
Ooh.
between Christian McCaffrey and Kamara, what do you got?
The homer in me is just taking McCaffrey and closing
That's
my
true.
eyes.
I got to get McCaffrey just because Latavius Murray will probably slide in that Ingram role. McCaffrey, you still got the whole backfield, dude.
Yeah.
They're not putting in Scarlett. The one thing I do worry about on McCaffrey, I think they could ease him back on those goal line touches.
Also, with
Maybe a little
Cam
Alex
having all these
Armah.
targets, so I would not buy into trying to squeeze one more tight end one season out of Greg Olsen. I think he's a streamer at best. Ian Thomas is going to get a lot more involved. It's his day. His best days are
That was
over.
where I was going because I have Vance McDonald a tier greater than Greg Olsen. And
Yeah, I don't mind
whenever
that
I
at
draft
all.
Oh, that's absolutely 100%.
Yeah,
I
the
agree with
The
that.
target share is
But
gonna
so
be
I was
great.
going to ask, is the target share going to just absolutely kill Greg? Do you think? So who do you think? Basically, you're saying that you think Christian McCaffrey gets less targets for sure.
yeah, for
Absolutely.
You think DJ Moore's not going to touch because since back to what we're talking about, so he's going to bust.
sure. Yeah, there's going
So-
to be
so you
the
think
targets.
said
Curtis-
it.
you
You
think
said
Curtis
it, yeah.
Samuel-
No,
I
DJ
heard it,
Moore's not
yeah.
going to bust, but the targets are going to be much
Ooh.
more spread out. And with the healthy Cam, you can't necessarily count on McCaffrey getting all the red zone, all the goal line touches. I mean, it's just you're going to be crossing your fingers most week with McCaffrey being a
Chris Hogan, over under 0 targets per game.
Chris Hogan will
I
get in
don't
there and
care- I
touch the
don't-
ball a
I
few
don't-
times.
I don't know if he's even going to be on the Panthers roster come week 1. We'll see though. All right, Dylan, give me a bust.
My bust. Where was that? Did I already give one? No, I didn't.
Maybe in your mind.
I'm trying to limp out of this. My bust is Philip Lindsay. That's the easy one. I'm sorry, I looked over it. I
We
am
already
not.
know that.
Yeah, I'm not touching him anywhere near his current ADP. It's.
Does anybody want any of the Broncos? Anyone?
I'm not. No, I'm not on any of that really. I'll take Noah Fant in the second round of a dynasty rookie draft, but that's about it.
I won't. I won't take anybody on Denver with Flacco at the helm.
Broncos are going to be that bad.
Drew
Yeah.
Lock looked good
Drew Lock
until,
looked
until they
horrible.
put the defender on him trying to blitz him.
Yeah,
He's
we're gonna
done.
want Flacco to stay in the game. That's the scary part with Denver.
Mm.
That is hilarious. All right, I'm going to step on Dylan's toes here. Bust. Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry is a plotter. We'll see. That the Titans offense, they're just bad. They're just bad.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a ton of scoring opportunity, but
I will say I will agree with you that volume they are going to hand him the
Yeah.
ball until he throws up. So his rushing efficiency may just be
Mm.
pitiful.
Yeah.
But
he broke some long runs last
I
year,
think
man.
that
Towards the end of the season.
I think that there is a chance, and I'm gonna recant my own statement here. I think that there's a chance if Mariota can take a huge step forward here. They have some weapons there that can really do some things. Corey
Yeah.
Davis is bound to be useful, despite what everybody thinks. I think that the offense has a chance. Delaney
Yeah.
Walker's back; he'll be healthy.
If
and I think-
Mariota plays good, you always have that running quarterback
Yeah.
benefiting the lead running back. That-
Absolutely. And Mariota will play good, just so you know.
Really? Okay. Well, all right, Michael, give me a sleeper.
Let's go with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Sleeper to be a top 7 halfback.
Top 7 back.
And there's upside for more, fellas. Come in, the water's warm.
You never know. I mean, if Green Bay finds favor in him and gives him the workhorse ability or workhorse.
LaFleur, he did it for your guy. He did it for my guy.
If they let him be the workhorse, I mean, there's gonna be scoring opportunity in Green Bay. It could be
You think?
awesome. I mean, I'm not worried about Jamal Williams. Everybody's trying to jump on Dexter Williams. Also, Dexter.
I didn't
Williams
see
isn't
any of the
anything.
seasons of Dexter.
Dexter Williams isn't gonna be a thing. It just.
All right. So in my rankings, I have Aaron Jones at 15.
That's low.
I'm gonna.
As running
Really?
back 15
All
or
right,
overall
I
15?
haven't met running back 15.
Okay.
Throw out any number. Too
all
low.
right, all right, here you go. Here you go. I'm gonna list some names, and tell me if you think Aaron Jones is better than it. I'm gonna assume the top 4: Barkley, McCaffrey, Kamara, Elliott. I'm assuming you're.
Well, hold on. I'm kidding. Let's
right,
go.
all right.
What do we got?
I've got DJ at 5, Le'Veon at 6.
Yeah, he's better than Le'Veon.
You think so?
No,
Going
come
forward,
on, don't
yes,
stop
absolutely.
him there.
Come
Jets
Keep going,
Jets
Will.
offensive line, like 26th overall.
Come
Forget
on.
it. How many
Okay,
times are
okay,
Jets gonna score?
Okay.
You're taking him
every
before.
time they do.
Am I taking him before
you're
Le'Veon?
stuck
I
at
don't
the
have
pick.
to.
Are you
I don't
taking-
have to. I get there and I take a receiver, and then I wait for Aaron Jones to slide on by.
Yeah,
I've got a halfback one done. It's over.
All right, slot me in at taking him. Like, I'm still taking Nick Chubb. I'm still taking Melvin Gordon. I'll take him right after that. I'm
All right,
not
here you go.
above Damian Williams, but that's
You're-
where I draw the
you're-
line.
So that's the tier.
Yeah.
Fournette. Where you at on Fournette?
Oh my gosh, he's so much better than Fournette.
Yeah, I'll take him over Fournette. I'm not touching Fournette,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Show
not
me-
touching Fournette either.
Show me a 16-game season out of Fournette, and I'll
Okay,
start
okay.
thinking about it.
Hey, hot take. Blake Bortles better than Nick Foles.
That is hotter than the sun, as my co-owner.
Blake Bortles could have won a Super Bowl in Philly
Absolutely, and he still might.
one day.
is not far off. Okay, all right, Dylan, give me a sleeper.
Okay.
got
Did I do? I did. Yeah.
Hey, are we sure Bortles doesn't beat Goff out for that job in L.A.?
We are sure. I gave my Derrick Henry already. What we got next?
You got a sleeper.
I said Derrick Henry, and then
No,
just because you
that
bashed
was
him
your
into
boom.
your butt.
That was your
That's your boom.
Oh,
That's not a
also
sleeper.
we're doing
Boom.
okay.
That was your boom.
Sleeper overall. We're gonna break into this each position.
Just give me somebody.
Yeah,
give me a
just
name
give me
so we can
somebody
ridicule it.
that's getting drafted outside of the
All
first
right,
6
this is
rounds. Who do you
kinda-
think it's gonna be.
Gained more tread than I wanted it to lately, but I
do
have
you mean by
been
that?
buying a lot of Carlos Hyde.
Wow.
Damian Williams hobbling off the field in preseason kind of I didn't like. Everybody that liked Carlos Hyde was like, oh yes, it's happening, but I didn't like that. I think Carlos Hyde can find favor in those coaches over. I don't think Damian Williams is that special. I mean, Carlos Hyde is going to carve out a little bit of a role. Everybody knows he's not that great, but if you get him on the field in Kansas City, anything can happen.
Do you hate yourself?
That is-
I'm just trying to figure out how you click the button.
Bro,
on
we're
Carlos
late in the
Hyde.
draft. I'm taking a guy that could get some carries for Kansas City. You can hate it if you
That's
want.
not. I mean, that's not the craziest
Wow.
thing. So let's go through the teams that
Darwin.
he's been on. Let's go through the teams that he's been on.
He
And
looked
could not
okay
make-
in
so he's been
Cleveland. He
on-
looked okay in Cleveland, but when you got Nick Chubb breathing down your neck, then
Yeah,
it's
he
just
looks fantastic.
what
in
can
Cleveland.
Yeah, that was an absolute disaster. So
Come-
he was
it
in
wasn't
Cleveland.
that
Where else
bad.
was he? He was Jaguars. Got cut from the Jaguars.
yeah.
Trash.
Where else?
San
was he?
Francisco, he put on a show, act like he's gonna be somebody.
Okay, doesn't
he's
matter.
Good, he's good week one. Week one, he's great running
Okay,
back, bro.
that's
He has
all
a
we
great
need.
Week
Actually,
one.
so
That's all we
Then
need
he's
to
done.
peak his
He takes-
value, bro. If you get somebody out there running for a touchdown in Kansas City in the regular season, you can trade him for something good.
Nope.
And we're talking.
Not in this
not
league.
Carlos Hyde. You can't.
Not
Okay.
in this league.
Come on, give me a little Carlos Hyde.
All right. I'm gonna.
You can have him.
My sleeper. Michael already touched on it. I think Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel is going deep in drafts, 8th, 9th round. His ADP's entirely too low. I think that they are probably onto something here. They're talking about the target share. I think McCaffrey loses some of those targets that he just so desperately hogged last season. Cam Newton's shoulder's better. I think Curtis Samuel's going to have a fantastic year, and if you can, he's at least going to put up solid flex numbers.
Have
I
any of
think-
you guys seen Tyreek Hill play before?
Like once.
This will be a lot similar to that.
You think so?
Absolutely.
That is.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't disagree. I still am.
Did you see him take the ball in Tampa Bay, go across the field, then go to the other side of the field, and he scored a touchdown on that?
At value, I don't hate it. It's close for me at value with Curtis Samuel versus DJ Moore, but at I would never take Curtis Samuel over DJ Moore.
Well,
You won't win a lot this year.
all I'm saying is that do you think Curtis Samuel, puts up wide receiver 2 numbers?
Yeah, I think he could do that easily.
Then what does DJ Moore put up? They're not both going to put up wide
DJ Moore
receiver
is
two
going to
numbers.
break into fringe wide receiver 1 numbers.
You
this
think
year.
DJ Moore will be a top 12 receiver while Curtis
Yes.
Samuel puts up a wide receiver 2 season?
I think Cam
I
can
think
make
you
it
haven't
happen.
prepared for this show today.
I think Cam can make it happen.
We have
That
so
is
many
terrible.
Jersey
Think
takes
about who
early
the
and
top
often.
12 receivers are. And you got DJ Moore breaking in?
Top 12 receivers just on my list: D Hop, Adams, MT, Julio, Tyreek, Odell.
DJ Moore can
Juju.
outscore Adam Thielen this year.
Who cares?
I
Adam
have
Thielen
a-
won't be
I
top
have
12.
Adam
Don't worry
Thielen
about
at
that. You don't have to worry about Adam Thielen.
Come on, man.
Do you
Think
take
about it.
DJ Moore over Amari Cooper?
Oh, there's no way.
I don't. I
What
can't
about
do that.
What about Brandon Cooks?
I'd take him over Brandon Cooks.
You would?
I would.
Cooks will have a fantastic
Especially in
season. He had a
Dynasty.
fantastic-
Come
he's had a
on, give me
fantastic season
DJ
every
Moore
season
over
of his
Cooks.
life.
I believe. I agree
Brandon
with
Cooks
that.
hasn't had a bad season since he's played.
I just
Pee
wanna
wee, nothing.
Quickly plug my boy Bob Woods. Keep going. He's gonna be a wide
Brandon
receiver
Cooks.
one.
Never heard of him.
It's on that high flying, top scoring.
Yes, this is
Rams
all reason
offense.
he's going to be
But
unbelievable.
The Panthers offense is going to break through this year with a healthy Cam. This is going to be the offense you want to buy. You want to buy your DJ Moore. You want to buy your Curtis Samuel. Take them all.
I
You
think
take
you.
'em all.
I think
Take
you
'em
buy
all.
McCaffrey. And I think you buy
take 3 of them.
Curtis,
Don't.
and that's it. And if you want to buy Ian real late, that's
Do you
fine.
like-
I'm
do
a friend
you
with
like
Ian.
Cam? Would you? Put
Yes,
Cam in those?
I'm taking
I'm not.
Cam.
I'm not paying where he's going. Nah.
Nah, I'm taking Cam where he's
I'll take
going
Lamar
easily.
Jackson a little bit later, bruh.
I mean, I'm not drafting
You
a
think-
quarterback that high, but I am taking.
You
Cam
think they're going to let
above
him
the
run like he
people
used to,
around
so he can
his-
lower that right shoulder in the linebacker, and then get back there and try to throw it?
He's
It's
gonna
not
look
happening.
good, man.
Lamar Jackson will run at least 10 times a game.
You gotta remember Cam's peak season. Who was he throwing the football to?
Dylan, that was a long time
Philly
ago.
Brown.
Yeah.
He was throwing to Jericho Cotchery. Great.
Yikes. What's wrong with that?
It-
Ted
it
Ginn,
was-
wide receiver
Give
1.
him some weapons and see what he can do. Come on, man.
I'm going to give him to him and see what he can do, but don't be surprised Will Greer comes out of that bullpen.
I am taking Cam. I think he's gonna be fine.
We got to
But
quit
anybody-
talking about Carolina so much. People don't even.
Yeah.
This is
Let's
too
just
much.
start
Carolina.
talking about every episode of All or Nothing here in a
Okay.
second.
All
How'd
right.
you like episode 1?
All right.
But you can
This
lock
is
in
not
Curtis.
a Carolina Panthers podcast. We just love the Panthers this season. Okay. All right, Michael, give me what did we establish here? We're gonna move on to a new segment here. Something that we're gonna do. This is a running back that's taken. What'd you say? Outside the top 6 rounds? Is that what
Outside
we
the
said?
top 6 rounds, that could finish as number 1.
Number 1 in their
Number 1 at their respective
at
position.
their respective position. Yeah. So we're going with running back right here. Tell me who you got, Michael.
Tevin Coleman.
Wow.
Write it down. Go ahead. I saw you reaching for your pen.
I don't hate that.
You can get your advice from me. You can
I
use this in the draft.
I saw on Twitter today a stat showing how great the
Tevin Coleman
San Francisco offensive line is at allowing the running backs to get yards before contact. If you give that to Tevin Coleman, there's no telling what he could do.
Is he fast or is he fast?
He's fast, but they like Breida. McKinnon's there. There's some things
McKinnon,
to
is
worry
he there?
about. There's some things to worry
He's in the
about.
building. I don't know about
You don't have to
healthy.
worry about either of those two.
I mean, I like Tevin a lot this year.
So does Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, which is what really matters. I love Coleman. I think he's great for where he's getting taken. I don't know about number 1 overall. That's a pretty hot take, but
Hey, that's what the segment's for.
yeah, hot takes. Okay, Dylan, who you got? Number 1 running back at their position.
I just peeked at your sheet and I'm about to
Do it.
steal yours.
Do it. That's fine.
I got Miles
I'll back
Sanders
you
up here. I mean, I don't.
What?
I
won't
think
even
Miles
get-
Sanders could finish running back 1 on the season if everything works out.
Like he got to go back to college and play, and they counted those stats.
He's gonna have a great opportunity.
He's going to
in
have a lot
Philadelphia.
of time to
Jordan
learn.
Jordan Howard is nothing. They're not
He's a
gonna.
plotter.
Yeah, they're not gonna mess around with Jordan Howard too long. They know what's gonna help them win, and it's gonna be Miles Sanders. Week 3 is gonna take over. It's not gonna take as long as Nick Chubb, and he's gonna start balling out.
And they will still give Jordan Howard the goal line carries because Doug Peterson uses running back by committee.
You're over here
I think-
trashing
listen,
Miles
this is-
Sanders
this
because
is what
Jordan Howard, but you won't speak about Matt Breida or Jerick McKinnon.
I won't speak anything ill about Tevin Coleman at all.
That's fair.
Why would
Listen,
Tevin Coleman not get
Is
goal line?
it? I have a question. Has Doug Peterson used running back by committee because that's how he is, or has he done running back by committee
Because
he's
I
Jay
think
Ajayi
I think
is-
that guy
because he's
loves
has-
doing that. I think he loves it. I think he loves looking at a running back and saying, "You're off the field."
I think
This
that
guy's in.
I read earlier that there was a report out of Philly camp that Miles Sanders will be the running back one if he's not already for that team.
When you
Running
think
back
Jay
one in the
Ajayi
committee.
is your running back one and you got Corey Clement on the team and you're splitting all them up, that's totally different from having what they are calling the best running back they've had on this team in a while in the building. Miles Sanders is going to take over.
On a good team.
As the number one in the committee. Absolutely. I think he's a great, talented running back.
What's the split?
I just want to say
What's the split?
Yeah.
Well, I would say
60-40,
he'll get,
is that what you're
he'll
thinking?
get 65% of all the running back touches.
That's enough, but he'll
I mean, the offense is going to be good.
yeah.
I think the offense is going to be good. And they play the Redskins twice. And they play the Giants twice.
What's wrong with the Giants?
A lot of things. We could do an entire show on that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I jumped in on the Miles Sanders train too. So we've already covered that. All right, Michael, give me number one wide receiver.
That's going to be Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson. Tell me why.
Well,
What do you
I'll
think
just
about
tell
the
you
Bears?
why. It hadn't been too long ago. He was the number one wide receiver. Back when he had that Jacksonville year, unbelievable. Unbelievable talent. He's year 2 off the ACL. He put up unbelievable stats in the playoff game. Trubisky's a little bit more comfortable. He's going to feed him the ball. That offense is low-key not that bad. That's kind of explosive.
I haven't decided.
He's got the
if
talent.
Trubisky is a good quarterback or a terrible quarterback.
Oh, he's not great, but you
I
don't have to be
cannot-
great. He's better than Bortles. He'll get the ball.
I don't hate it. I remember Allen Robinson coming out and just everyone saying this is the next Dez Bryant. This is amazing. He's going to be awesome. And he balled out for Jacksonville. And then now he's just like everyone thinks he's just the most meh pick of all time.
If
Nobody
you can
wants
get
to
him
touch
as your wide receiver 3, you've done a day's work.
I mean, yeah,
why would you
that's
not
baller.
want him?
And you're gonna have the big games with Trubisky. I mean, was he in the Millie Maker lineup in DFS 2 times last year?
Maybe.
I mean, he
I don't
can
have that
big
data in
games.
front of me.
That's true. All right, Dylan, what you got?
My
Wide
wide receiver.
If you say DJ Moore, we're going to cancel the program.
My wide receiver going in the later rounds that could possibly be number one is D.D. Westbrook.
What?
Yeah, I think
Jaguars. Wow.
Jacksonville are going to be playing from behind more often than not. I don't think that defense is half as good as it used to be. I think D.D. Westbrook is the best wide receiver there. He's going to rise up, and it's got to go to somebody. I think it could be D.D. Westbrook.
What's got to go to somebody? How many yards will Foles throw for? 3,500?
I think Foles is going to connect with D.D. Westbrook a lot this season.
You have to define a lot. I don't think you know some. I don't think you know some of the words you're saying.
I saw D.D.
that's
Westbrook
a
compared
bad
to your
pick.
boy
You know, it was-
Stephon Diggs over there in the Twitter world lately.
Who did that? I'll find them. That's an awful comparison. I mean, Westbrook's not bad, bro. That's not the offense to do it, though. You had all these great. It's after the 6th round. Or
If
600
they're
round.
playing from behind,
had a lot of
who
great
are they
people you
throwing the
could've
ball
picked.
to?
You could have picked a lot of people here.
If they're playing from behind, who are they throwing the ball to?
It doesn't matter. They're not going to throw the ball much. It doesn't matter. It's Nick Foles, dude.
What happens if?
Wide receiver 31.
What happens if Fournette goes down?
Oh,
I-
and they're
God.
behind?
I guess they won't televise the games anymore, Will. What do you want me to tell you? I don't know what they can do, man.
I
The
mean,
question is,
If you're a Fournette owner, you have to waste that 3rd-round rookie pick on Raquel Armstead.
I
mean,
won't.
Yeah, I don't like handcuffed running backs, but I wouldn't. If you have Fournette on your team, it's
Would
just
you rather
it's
throw up
completely different.
once or twice?
that's terrible.
Me once.
Who else they have on their running back depth chart? Do we know?
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. All right. So here's my number one wide receiver. I'm going Mike Williams. I truthfully believe that Melvin Gordon is not going to play this season. I think that when Melvin Gordon was out last season, if you look at the stats, the receivers, Keenan Allen specifically, hogged it up. He hogged up the targets. I think that Melvin doesn't play. I think Eckler is a bad scat back. I think that somebody's got to catch it. You think?
Yeah, he's got good efficiency numbers. I don't know how he could do
Trash.
getting more carries. I mean, yeah, I don't believe in him necessarily, but Justin Jackson, 7th round running back, is not gonna come up and start taking too many carries.
Last year, Mike Williams had 12 ends on targets, 13 men.
Do you think Hunter Henry coming back is gonna take those red
That's
zone
the guy.
targets?
That's the guy. I knew you
I
were going
don't
to say
think
that.
I don't think that he takes any of those. I think I think you've seen at least Mike Williams' floor, and I think that
He just looks like a bad receiver.
Here's
to me.
another my other complaint with that, or complaint's not the right word, but Melvin Gordon has to come back halfway through the season at least, doesn't he? If he doesn't get traded.
He's got a crew that year, yeah.
Yeah. If he doesn't play at all, then he's in the same situation. So if
I'm
you
just
don't
not
think he gets
sure.
traded,
I
then
think
he's.
Mike Williams, you're looking at touchdown regression,
he's
and I don't
back
know what
week
else is
8.
going to progress. That guy can't run a route.
I don't hate it. I think a lot of people are hyped on Mike Williams. I think he could ball out. A lot of things have to break
I'm just
right
really high on the Chargers offense. I think that if Melvin Gordon doesn't play, which he's at least not going to play week 1, I would bet the house on that. The house that I don't own.
Yeah, you still have to buy him in the first 2 rounds, and every game he misses is just that's gonna eat at you.
Yeah,
You
and then when he does play, he's gonna miss another game because that's what Melvin Gordon does. So P.S. I'm not buying Melvin Gordon in any league. I think that the receivers hog it up. I think that Hunter Henry is a great buy. I don't know if I'm taking him where he's going because I think a lot of people agree with that. He's coming back. He's in a great offense. They're gonna compete. They're gonna get in shootouts.
I think
Kansas
Hunter Henry and Mike Williams, redundant assets, cannibalize one another.
I haven't put much thought into that. Melvin Gordon sitting out. If and when he does come back, it's not for someone that has trouble staying healthy. It's not a great thing to not be going through training camp and not be playing a little bit of football right now.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. If he is, and I'm assuming he's staying healthy, if he does sit 8 weeks, how much do you like Melvin Gordon the last 8 weeks of the season?
Oh my God, they're gonna just destroy his legs. He's gonna be gonna be a league winner for people. If you can survive with Melvin Gordon stashed on your bench and then he comes back week 8, you're winning your league.
Where do you take him?
If we know he's not coming back till week 8,
I'm saying right now, if you know he's not coming back till week 8, where do you take him?
Gosh, I'm taking him before like Mark Ingram or something. I'll take him in the 4th, 5th, and try to survive.
You're crazy. You take him over like a Brandon Cooks or somebody. You can't just look running back for running back.
Would you take him or Galladay?
Okay,
Melvin Gordon or Galladay? I'm not looking at either. Well, I'll look at Melvin Gordon, but if he's not going to play the first 8 weeks, I'm not looking at him. But I'm not looking at. I don't know who Galladay is.
Well, let's go running back for running back. Are you taking Melvin Gordon coming back week 8 or Sony Michel?
Why are you doing this to me?
I mean,
Sonny Michel, he's not going to make it to week 8.
There's just so many guys that you'd still take him over if you knew he wasn't going to play till week 8.
Receiver.
Okay, so this is where I have it. Do you take, let's say you've got the 1.01, the first overall pick in a redraft league. You take Barkley.
Absolutely. Safest.
Yes. Easy.
For me, yeah.
No question.
The offense isn't great, but it wasn't great last year.
If Zeke signs, do you take Zeke over Barkley?
No way.
I'd consider taking Zeke over Barkley in a redraft.
They like that Pollard kid. Every day that Zeke misses, that Pollard kid's going to steal a little bit of snaps. That guy's pretty good, man.
They're the
4th rounder.
Barkley and Zeke's situation is very similar, but the difference is
very different.
Zeke is going to be able to score touchdowns on that offense. Barkley's going to have to score from 50 yards out every time.
And he does almost
every game. He will, but he won't.
Unbelievable.
You're not wrong. Running efficiency for Barkley is going to be a problem, but he's going to get -2 yards in the backfield, get touched, and he's going to have to break it 60, 70 yards every time he scores a touchdown.
You know what Golden Tate will do that Odell didn't want to do? Block. Right. And that's all they need him to do. This is going to be the Saquon show. They don't need the
Sterling Shepard need a healthy thumb to block down the field?
The only way they're going to have Golden Tate blocking
He's on
is
PEDs.
if they line Golden Tate up beside the tight end because they're going to
Golden Tate is a fantastic
they're going to have
blocking receiver.
11 people in the box. They're not even going to guard receivers. They're going to have 11 people in the box.
Barkley can get it done.
We'll see. All right, so back to what I was saying. Barkley at 1. So at the turn, so that means you'd be drafting 29 and 30. No, yeah. What was it? Yeah, 29 and 30. In my rankings, I have. Where's it at? Right there. Yeah. So I have Thielen, Mack, Fournette, Cooper around there. Do you take? That's ugly. Do you take something like?
So we're playing a game pretending we're drafting from the 1 slot.
Yes, we're drafting from the 1 spot. I'm saying you take Barkley, so you've got to run it back. Let's say Melvin Gordon falls to round 3.
Oh, I'm taking him.
You're taking a receiver here and then Melvin Gordon and then put him on your bench.
Where are we at?
So we're at pick on this sheet 30. So just so everybody knows, Aaron Jones has been selected in this.
He gets selected at 29 because he's not.
But we're saying Melvin Gordon's pushed back.
I'm saying Melvin Gordon has fallen.
So I think you look and if you see George Kittle. If you're familiar with that name, you click the button on that, and then I think you look a little bit lower and you say Stephon Diggs or Amari Cooper, pick your poison. Don't care which one you take one of those.
I'm definitely taking Melvin Gordon.
You think if Melvin Gordon is up in your 3rd round pick, you take him?
Nope. I mean, is this a redraft league that we're talking?
It is a redraft.
So
it's not a dynasty league.
How are you not going to win the league with Barkley and Melvin Gordon on your team?
Because he might not play.
He's going to play.
Do you think he plays?
Yeah, he's going to play.
And I'm just going to go on record for anybody that knows. You can't compare the Zeke situation and the Melvin Gordon situation to Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was done with his contract. He was told that he was going to be franchise tagged. So anybody that says, and I've read that on Twitter, and it makes
these guys don't have the leverage.
Melvin has more incentive not to pay. or not to play,
Not to play.
not to pay or play. But anyway,
He's not. Well, he's
not gonna pay
He's
to
paying
play.
every day
I
he's
mean,
missing
he has
training camp.
incentive not to play, but
keep
But
that
he
help.
has
What
to.
happens if he comes out there and tears an ACL this year on that rookie deal? What happens then?
I mean,
Are you gonna pay him?
I'm not gonna pay him,
I didn't think you would.
but
I would be sitting out. I'd be at home. I'd be planning vacations year round.
okay. I'm taking Barkley and I'm taking Melvin, and then
You're beat.
I'm.
And
Just
then
like
you
that,
lose the
you're
first
beat.
4 weeks.
I like that. Go ahead and take Kittle there too. I mean, that dominant tight end.
Why
that
not
would-
grab a receiver, man? What do you got against them? But if you don't take a receiver,
There's
right there,
receivers
you know
you-
how many picks is going to be before you get back around?
You go back around and
You know who
you're-
your wide
and
receiver
you're in
one's gonna
that
be?
sweet
And
spot where
you're
you're
Will, tell
taking
him- tell him
DJ
who-
Moore.
you're
You're
back-
taking
you're-
Tell them who his wide receiver one's going to be, Will. Tell them.
DJ Moore.
You're
Wow.
picking right around, and here's something just absolutely psychotic. I have AJ Green around that spot, the when you would come
Nope.
back up. So if you're drafting, you're not touching AJ Green this year.
Absolutely not.
Dude, let me do that. I'll start with Barkley, Melvin Gordon, George Kittle. I'll come back around, and I am so happy taking Tyler Lockett and DJ Moore as my 1 and 2.
That's gross.
It's
You're-
dominant.
You're disgusting.
Tyler Lockett and DJ Moore. How are either one not going
both
to be a
are
wide
great
receiver 2?
wide receiver 2s or wide receiver 3s.
They
well, not
have the-
DJ's not a great wide receiver 2.
They
but
have the
Tyler
potential
Lockett,
to
great
break
wide
into
receiver
it, to break into wide receiver 1, fringe
Why
wide
do you
receiver
keep
1.
saying that? You understand what a wide receiver 1 is? Tyler Lockett's not going to be a wide receiver 1.
It's not.
DJ
At
Moore won't
the
be a
end
wide
of the
receiver
year,
1.
the wide
I'll
receiver
give you
ones are
Will's
not
house
gonna,
if they do.
At the end of the year, the wide receiver ones are not going to be what you had them written down at the start of
Yeah,
the season.
they might not be, but they're not going to be that crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Dang, think about that.
Tyler Lockett and DJ Moore both have
I like it. I like the way you say it.
better potential to be wide receiver 1s than
Who?
Mr. Hype Chris Godwin.
Oh, Chris Godwin
Ooh.
sucks.
Come on.
I said it.
I'm
Come
not eating that
on.
Chris Godwin mess either, man. The hype train has gotten out of
L-
control.
It is. It is
Yeah.
crazy. I will say that.
Evans is going to get his targets.
Yes.
Then you got O.J. Howard, Chris Godwin fighting for the rest of it. Godwin could have a good season, wide receiver 3,
I just
but
want Bruce Arians
not
to trade
Mike
for
Evans.
Melvin Gordon right now, and just. I don't really want that as a Panthers fan, but
They
that
can't
would
fly with Ronald Jones. I don't want to see another
he is.
boring Peyton Barber season, man. Just, God, that's just awful. Where are you drafting Peyton Barber?
Where are you?
Who
drafting?
is?
You're not. You're hoping somebody in your league takes Peyton Barber. No, I have Peyton Barber.
I don't even see
Are
his
you
name
drafting
on
Peyton
here.
Barber before Ronald Jones? Let's just,
Yes.
if you had to take one of
Yes.
them,
Yes.
you have one roster spot left. There's
Yeah.
nobody on waivers except
Yes.
Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones. Who you
Yes,
Bruce
taking?
Anderson.
Yes.
Bruce Anderson.
Yes. Yes, you are. I have Carlos Hyde pretty low here, but we already crossed this bridge. Do you take Carlos Hyde or do you take Peyton Barber?
I'll
It's just
take
gross.
Hyde. I'll
I
take
mean, even
Hyde.
I'll
It
say
does-
it's
doesn't really
gross.
matter
Give me
about-
Carlos Hyde.
That is
Peyton
Ah.
Barber, woof.
Yeah.
Wolf.
Disgusting.
Just play the toilet sound noise that you had ready for that.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Back to the top. Still in the segment. Michael, give me a tight end. We can call this a sleeper tight end. Somebody that you think is going to be. I'm going to go ahead and put the metric up. So what are you saying? Number 1 tight end overall.
Jared Cook.
Jared Cook.
Any other tight end goes to Saints, everybody can't stop talking about it. My man Jared Cook goes over there. Everybody's like, oh, that's cool. 7th or 8th rounder.
Yeah.
What kind of sense does that make?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Drew Brees is gonna have to. I mean, he's aging. I mean, Jared Cook fits perfectly for what he's gonna want to do this season.
And that's get the ball to Jared Cook.
Get the ball to Jared Cook. I mean, Michael Thomas is just another tight end, anyways. The whole team's just gonna be
Whoa.
running 8 to 15 yard
Wow.
routes and catching the ball.
Wow.
It's
I
just
don't like Michael Thomas either, but he's a great route runner.
he's a big old tight end on the outside.
So,
Dang, that's
so
rough.
we're going to go ahead and touch on this. So where do you value Michael Thomas dynasty?
Dynasty.
Give me your
Michael.
dynasty receivers. Ready, go. Stop at Michael Thomas.
All right, give me
Number
DeAndre
1.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Give me Odell Beckham number 2.
Over
I mean,
Tyreek.
Easily. I mean, Odell
Okay,
Beckham
I'm not
balled out 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
And now you're telling me that he's tethered to Baker Mayfield and he's still young? Like, if you had told me that 2 seasons ago, people would have flipped out. But everyone's buying into this too many mouths to feed in Cleveland and Odell acting like a diva and everything. He's going to ball.
Yeah. Well, the only person that gets hurt in Cleveland is Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry's
Yeah.
gonna really suffer
Yeah. I
from
agree.
last year, which isn't. I mean, he didn't do anything crazy last year, but I think he's the one that really gets hurt here. I don't think it's
All
not
right.
Odell.
For my third, I'll put Devontae Adams in there. It's just tethered to Aaron Rodgers. You just got to roll him. I'll put Tyreek Hill next, even though I hate it. I can't get behind it. but Tyreek Hill. 5, Julio Jones.
Okay.
6.
Over Juju? You like Julio over Juju right now?
Yeah,
For
no,
Dynasty?
give me Juju. I mean,
Julio, he's so old though.
can I get a restart?
No.
Give me. I'm
You
going
done
Hopkins,
yours.
Odell Beckham. I'm going Juju. I just completely missed Juju.
It's cool.
Juju at 3. Devontae Adams at
Evans.
4.
Mike Evans at 5.
No, not Mike Evans. Where was I at? Julio. Tyreek Hill at 5. Julio at 6. Then give
Mike
me
Evans.
Antonio Brown.
Over Mike Evans?
Give me Antonio Brown.
Have you seen the guy's feet? They're frostbitten.
They're frostbitten. How long is that going to
How
last?
long do you, how long
I
do
don't
how
know.
long do
Yeah, are
think
you a
they'll be
doctor?
out?
How long does frostbite? How long does frostbite take? I've seen people lose feet over frostbite.
I'm taking Michael Thomas after.
He may not play.
Where were Antonio Brown
So we're taking
and before someone like Mike Evans or who
I'll
else
take
we
Mike
have on
Evans
here?
over him.
Keenan Allen. Just give me Michael
Do
Thomas.
you
over
I'll
that.
take
like-
Michael Thomas over Keenan Allen, but not
I'm
Mike
gonna
Evans.
I'm
Not
gonna
Mike
ask
Evans.
Michael a very easy question for him to answer. So 10, 11, 12, 13 for me in the receivers. Just Keenan Allen in this order. Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, T.Y. Hilton, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs.
You
Whoa.
gotta bump
Isn't
Amari
that-
Cooper
whoa.
over them in Dynasty
You
and
think that
Stephon
Cooper
Diggs. You
should
can't
be-
have T.Y.
Okay,
Hilton above
so-
them.
So you think
I'm putting a line through T.Y. Hilton's name right now.
Yeah, I'm bumping T.Y. Hilton
I don't
way
see him back
down.
on this list.
yeah, he's
Adam Thielen, nah.
So
Maybe if
everybody-
I need
see,
maybe if I
everybody
need a
keeps saying-
chaperone at my kid's birthday.
everybody keeps saying that and he just keeps
Give me
on
break
pre-
off the tier after Evans, then you're starting a new tier with Diggs and Cooper. You're breaking that tier hard after that.
So you're saying so you've got 9 guys. You said you have 9 guys is what you're saying, and then you're breaking it off. So you have
yeah.
9 guys.
Well, I mean,
in
there's
wide
that
receiver one.
that tier. That first 9 is split up too. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. Let's split them up then. Split them up.
all
The
right.
first 9 guys in wide
Do
receiver
it.
1. Split them up.
Well, okay. Tier 1.
Split it.
D Hop. Easy.
Tier 1. You're people that you could easily see being the wide receiver 1 overall.
Yeah.
D Hop,
Yeah.
Odell Beckham, Juju.
Really? You're taking? You think Juju's better than Devontae right now?
In Dynasty,
Dynasty.
100%.
Okay.
Wow.
fair. Okay. So that's your top 3. So we limited. it to
Next
3.
tier is not far off.
Yeah.
We're rolling Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill.
I think it's an actual crime you didn't put Tyreek Hill in the top 3, but that's fine.
I don't know.
I guess with
you got to
his
be
stock
scared of
is-
him a little bit,
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
some people
If
are
he
just.
can, no, I would not be scared of Tyreek Hill at all. If he can get away with that, he's all
He
good. Dude,
told us
that
we need
guy
to be
is
scared of him.
bulletproof. Roger Goodell sees he sees him in those primetime games, man. He's keeping that guy on
I
the
have
field.
a clip of telling him to be very scared of, for us to be very scared of him.
Would you play it right
Explicit. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
He's good.
Okay, so your top. So you've got 3, and you're just wide receiver 1. Could be. doesn't
I
matter.
may be wrong. I may be soft for not having Tyreek Hill up there in the top
fine.
tier,
That's
but
fine.
yeah, take away this whole offseason, wipe his slate clean, and he's in the top tier.
Okay. So then you start your
Which
second.
his
you start
slate
your
may
s-
be clean now.
Tied to Patrick Mahomes. Think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to regress quite a bit. You-
Wow.
You heard that. I think that.
This
I
guy, this
think
guy's
that-
unbelievable. He threw the ball out of the stadium last week.
I think that Mahomes. They finally have tape on him. I think that he will regress a pretty decent bit.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he won't finish QB1. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying I think that the numbers are going to come back down to earth.
I'm with
Quite.
Will. Instead of 50, he gets 49. Write it down.
I don't know. I don't see how he couldn't be the quarterback 1,
You don't
which you didn't dispute that at all. But
you don't think Deshaun Watson could contest him
no, yeah, you give me Pat Mahomes.
I hope not.
for that? That's true. All right, so we're going to touch on it again. Your second tier here in wide receivers.
Wide receivers.
So we went D Hop. This is Dylan's second tier. So we went D Hop, Odell, Juju. That was his
yeah.
tier 1. Tier 2,
Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams.
Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. That's it.
Yeah, just
That's it.
Close that off.
That's it. So you have tier 2.
Yeah, then we'll
Give us
next.
some sort of metric for how you're gauging these guys. You said the top 3. You can see any of them being wide receiver 1 overall.
Any of the top 3 could be wide receiver 1 overall.
Okay, and then
Next
somebody say
two-
the next two.
I see they could easily be wide receiver 1 overall also, but
What kind of tiers are these then?
see, I'm closing them into the next tier because I just don't think Devontae Adams is as great of an athletic receiver as the first 3 guys. I mean, that Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I mean, he's tethered to Aaron Rodgers. That is boosting him so much. I'm not going to bet on that
way
as
forever.
easily. Yeah, I mean, he's not put him with Brandon Weeden and still be amazing wide receiver one DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, put Devontae Adams with Brandon Weeden and
How'd Hopkins do with Osweiler?
you don't know who Devontae Adams is after that.
So then your next three. So we're talking about wide receiver ones here, just to clarify. So then your next tier goes
My next tier is you got to put Julio up there.
in that order: Julio,
Michael Thomas, Mike
Okay.
Evans, Antonio Brown.
You can drop
Okay.
Antonio Brown right out that tier if you want.
Yeah,
I'm
cool
keeping
with
him
that.
up there, man.
I think, and I read it, and truthfully, I just think that so many of Antonio Brown's stuff comes from the backyard again style, just crazy. Ben Roethlisberger shakes off six.
I saw
six-
something.
six-
Derek Carr's
six
got an
fat
arm
guys.
though, man. You don't know. He's just gonna be slinging
He's
it.
got two of them, sure, but it's not going to
I
work
mean,
like
he's not a
Roethlisberger's.
great
Neither
quarterback,
one of
but he
them.
can sling the
not-
dang ball down the
you're gonna
field.
stop.
You think he can sling it down the field? What
He
makes you
can.
think that?
Did anybody see the little clip of Antonio Brown at practice with his kids, and they were asking, "Where's Ben Roethlisberger? Where's Ben Roethlisberger?"
Yeah, we've all got HBO.
That is that's sad.
halfway through the season.
I saw
Antonio Brown might be
something
asking the same
on
question.
Twitter. I'm not sure who tweeted it. I'm not even sure if it's accurate what I'm about to say. I could have dreamt this. But that Antonio Brown stats with the Roethlisberger is about 18 fantasy points per game. Without him, it's about 10.
That's
Think about that.
That
believable.
is scary. I'm
But
telling you,
I mean, that's
how many
such a
times-
crazy.
Think about how, I mean, yes.
That's a foggy stat, man. You don't even know who was back there. Like, you're not breaking into
I know who was
Yeah.
back there.
who was back there.
Pittsburgh Mike Vick. He was back there.
Pittsburgh Mike Vick was amazing.
Nope.
No.
You're not gonna have the shake three guys find Antonio Brown, throw his hand up, catch it, and break off 50 yards. That's gonna stop to the tune of about 4 or 5 less times.
It's over.
I think he falls out
Yeah.
a wide receiver one. And if Bruce Arians didn't take over in Tampa Bay, I'd put Mike Evans there with him.
Well, my next tier, the last people in the actual top 12, would have to be Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs,
Yes.
and 12th, I'd have to go with Brandon Cooks and leave Keenan Allen barely out of there.
Do you guys know how many yards that Kirk Cousins left on the field last year targeting Diggs? So many bad throws. Diggs could have had a whale of a season. This guy's unbelievable, guys.
Just question.
Yeah, he could be wide receiver one, sure.
Where did Kirk Cousins go? Is he still in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay. Not right.
Michigan State prior to that.
Okay. All right. So Dylan, give me a tight end that you think that we're now back to square one that we were talking about. Give me a tight end that you can take really late and that could be number one overall.
Okay, everyone's going crazy over these tight ends that are freak athletes, like O.J. Howard, Evan Ingram, like everybody buying in on those. I'm going with my forgotten guy, David Njoku. He is just as great of an athlete as any of the tight ends in the league. He could ball out this year. Baker Mayfield and Njoku it's just
How many yards do you think they'll throw for over there? 6,000? Like,
I know you were gonna
And
say
then
that, but
just so you know, Dylan is also high on Nick Chubb too. So their just offense is going to score.
yeah, what is going
the
on?
Cleveland
80
Browns
points a game.
offense. I mean, this is a popular opinion. I'm not saying anything, but by the Cleveland Browns offense they're gonna ball out.
Njoku's tough. I'm going Vance McDonald. I think the targets have to go somewhere. I think that Juju has a real case at being wide receiver one. Young, talented, good hands, great route runner. Volume's going to be there. I think the volume has to go somewhere. I don't think it goes to James Washington running streaks down the sideline. I don't think this whole Jalen or whatever Samuels, yeah, right, Jalen Samuels, isn't that right?
I'll buy into that.
You're buying into him
Yeah.
being
Buy into
all
Jalen
over, all
Samuels.
the slot receiver.
Yeah.
The running back coach was his coach at college. He loves the guy. He's up.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and tell you right now, better running back than James Conner.
Yeah, give me a little bit of Jalen Samuels, man. I like that too.
Whew.
I mean,
A little bit. How about on every roster you got?
everyone's saying, "Oh, yeah, you don't have to have your handcuff." He's not a handcuff. This guy is going to be involved
This
all
guy's
the time.
1B.
Give me 1B. I mean,
One
think-
double A.
maybe as good of a runner as James Conner. I won't say that, but
I will.
But you got your Steelers version of James White getting involved every chance he gets in the passing game. They're gonna put him in there running the ball. They're gonna give him some goal line work. It could be crazy.
I think it's going to be fun to watch the Steelers play the Browns. I said it.
Whew.
I said it. I think that's going to be
true. That could be a barn burner.
absolutely awesome. Yeah. So I am saying Vance McDonald. I think Vance McDonald has a chance to really be a stud. All right, quarterback. This is the last one. Last one. Give me a quarterback.
This is too easy. Kyler Murray.
Dang, you took mine.
How many
You
other
and
quarterbacks?
everyone
Did you do
else.
Kyler Murray too?
No, I didn't do Kyler Murray.
Who'd
You
you
gotta
do?
do it.
Who'd you do?
Well,
Me and
I
Mike were
guess
gonna gang
mine's
up
just
on
as boring. I went Cam Newton just to resurge as the
Whoa,
number one
let's talk about
quarterback.
Carolina some more. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
You really put me to sleep here.
Come on.
Kyler Murray is one of the few quarterbacks. He could throw for 300 and run for 100 in a game. He could throw for 400 and run for 100 in a
In
game.
a redraft, what quarterbacks are you taking Kyler Murray over?
Wow. I can't believe you come at me with that question. I don't even look at the quarterbacks till a
I
certain
know.
round. So I don't
we're
know
not,
what quarterback
we're,
to take him over, but
we're not cavemen taking Aaron Rodgers in the third round, but I'm asking just you're picking your quarterback. Who are you taking Kyler Murray over?
I'll take him over Russell Wilson.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you
Take
don't
him
have
over
to.
Dak?
It's my draft.
do you take him over Dak?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
take him
I'll take him over
okay.
Dak.
I agree. I'm just.
Do you take him over
looking at-
Rivers in redraft?
yes.
You take him over Rivers?
Yeah, I like I like the ceiling, man. And his floor is unbelievable too. This
I
guy
don't know. Obviously, you
guy's
got to
floor-
go for the ceiling at
This
quarterback.
guy's floor is Lamar Jackson. His ceiling is through the roof.
Do you take him over Phillip Rivers if you have
Yes.
to lock him into your quarterback one spot the whole season? You're not allowed to change
I'll
it other
do
than
it.
bye week.
I'll
That's-
do it right
that's
now.
a,
Sign
uh,
me
I
up
can't.
for it.
I can't do it there, but I will.
Phillip Rivers, what is the deal?
I don't. You
What's
just
the
have
big
the
deal?
consistency. You know you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you
low
know what
end
you're gonna
QB
get.
one. Wow.
Low end QB one.
can't
You
get that
can win a
anywhere.
title with a low end QB one.
Sure, you could.
Done it.
You could also win a title with the QB one overall, Kyler Murray.
Haven't
QB
done it.
two
Hope,
overall.
hope to do it.
to do it.
Really hope to do it. Well, let's look at some other quarterback names really quick.
What we got
Goff?
here?
You like him over Goff?
Oh, I like Kyler Murray or Goff, but Goff will have a nice year. They're going to open that offense up in the passing game a little bit.
You think so?
Everybody thinks Darrell Henderson. No, they're just not going to give the running back as many touches.
I think that I don't
That's
think
true.
Cooks.
from what I've heard, it's not so much that Gurley. I think Gurley's gonna be fine. I think if you are drafting 6 in your draft, if you are at number 6, you take Gurley and be happy. I don't think in this order, Barkley, CMC, Kamara. I guess maybe not in this order. Barkley, CMC, Kamara, Zeke, DJ. If you're there at 6, do you take Gurley or do you take Le'Veon?
Nope.
Neither.
I
Michael said
take
go
Le'Veon
DJ.
there, but
You take Le'Veon there?
yeah, but that's where I start saying I'm
I read
gonna
a
grab my
crazy
I'm
Hopkins
not
or I'm
taking
gonna.
Gurley in the first 2 rounds. I want one of my first
Really?
2-round guys to be on the field, ready to produce. I don't want to have an arthritic knee. Like the whole point of fantasy, I don't want my guy to get injured. You're telling me this guy, he's already prone to it. Like,
I'm taking Gurley in the
I'm
second.
not gonna ignore the
Come
warning
on,
sign.
man. Just I'm
the
saddling up
train,
with
the
that.
train, the little thing that goes down for the trains is down. The train is coming. You're gonna drive your car through. You don't
I'll
have
take
to.
Gurley in the
There's
second,
another
man.
route.
All the signs are there for Gurley.
There's plenty of detours.
But if you take Gurley and he is 80% of what he was, I read a
You've
crazy
got a first round pick like everybody
yeah,
else.
Well, but you drafted him at 6 instead of a wide receiver.
I don't care.
You're gonna draft a top 3 back, maybe top 2 if he's 80% of what he was.
he won't be.
You're saying well, you just said that you think
Well,
Christian McCaffrey's targets are going down. So it's Barkley, and then your tier is kind of wide open.
I mean, I'm taking
That's
Gurley
true.
after Le'Veon Bell. I'm not taking James Conner over him or Joe Mixon in
Mixon? You're not taking
the
Mixon over?
horrible Bengals.
I will.
No.
That's true.
I mean, I can't do that. But let me ask you this: if we're talking dynasty, are you taking Gurley over Aaron Jones? Are you taking Gurley over Marlon Mack? Are you
Oh
taking?
yeah, I'll take Gurley
yes.
over Marlon.
Are you
Mack.
taking Gurley
I'll
over
take my
Kerryon
ceiling.
Johnson?
No.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson
No.
makes me sick.
No.
I'm taking Gurley over Kerryon still.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Just because the offense, just in general too. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be on that
Like
line.
I read a crazy stat. I think it was like Gurley boomed more times than like Antonio Brown was like a top 5 receiver last year. Like it was like some absurd stat that like even if
Yeah.
he doesn't like his points per game were like over like ESPN considers points per game like if it's over 26 then it's a boom. Like he had more than 26 points like over half of his games, like 60% of his games. So even if he's not like the crazy games where he scores 30 points a game, even if he scores 21 points a game
So you'll
Well-
tell people to take Gurley
over
late first round in a startup in dynasty?
Nope.
That's tough. No.
No.
Here's what I'll tell you about Todd Gurley. If you're gonna pick him, that's fine. But you might want to rewatch those playoff games first because you're talking about 80% of what he was. That's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
80%
But where
of
was
that,
80%? He was 80% behind C.J.
Yeah.
Anderson.
Oh, that was horrible.
Speaking of, God, that
Well-
guy couldn't even make the Panthers squad.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's go into the boring running back tier. Which one of these boring running backs would you count on?
Give those.
Yeah,
names.
who
Mark
would you
Ingram,
consider boring?
Devonta Freeman, Chris Carson. Which one of those snoozers are you buying into this year?
Freeman.
Devonta
I
Freeman?
think Ito Smith is trash. I think Freeman's going to be okay. I think the Falcons are going to be a good offense. I think
I'm
they're
taking
going to be a
Mark
division
Ingram.
that you got to score points, especially when you go play the Saints.
I'm
Oh,
taking
yeah.
Mark Ingram a little higher than ADP. I mean, Lamar Jackson running the ball, that's going to open up a little bit for Mark Ingram. I'm not buying this Justice Hill. Justice Hill, everyone's talking about him
Ooh.
just because he's behind Mark Ingram.
No,
give me
no.
a good Mark Ingram season.
Justice Hill is awesome, man.
You think he's awesome?
When you see Justice Hill carry that ball compared to Mark Ingram, you'd be like, "Wow, do I have the game on fast forward?" You don't. Justice Hill's in the game.
No.
So I don't. I'm with Will. I'd like to see Devonta Freeman because both those other two backs, Carson, when you see Penny on the field, you can make an argument Penny's better.
Yeah.
Your guy, you can make an
You
argument.
see
Justice
Ito
Hill
on the field for
has a better chance.
other than
when
Devonta
you see
Freeman.
Ito on the field other than Devonta Freeman,
you're like,
you're not worried
get my
about it.
guy back
Yeah.
in.
you're not
like
worried
a-
about his job
I want
security,
that,
my
yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
Tevin
it's-
Coleman out of town. Whew.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that, and I believe they re-signed Freeman. I think they have a pretty solid vote of confidence in Freeman. I feel good about taking Freeman. I've almost decided if I'm going at either 6 or 7 with the way the running backs are shaking up and that top tier kind of thinning out, and when I'm questioning Gurley, I've almost decided to go receiver Devonta Freeman, have him be my RB1, which is bold, but I think I did that. I think I sent that to you guys. Maybe I think you could go receiver Devonta Freeman. Like carry on ish, something like that. And if you do that, you could get guys like Curtis Samuel. You could get really good value on receivers. Receivers are just stupid deep, by the way.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
I like
Just
taking the
insane.
stud running backs early.
I normally
Finding
do
some
one.
All right,
receivers.
so this is the last segment we're gonna do. Give me somebody that you don't touch. If you had to draft a team today, it doesn't matter.
there's
if
so
it's
many
re-
of
If
them.
it's give me the guy you don't touch, and his name can't be Todd Gurley.
Is it based on ADP or what are we doing here?
It's-
Because there's a lot of guys.
oh.
There's so many of these guys I wouldn't want to touch.
Let's go.
Let's
actually give me 2. Give me.
You want me to give you one on the
get-
first page, and
Yeah,
then I'll do,
I want.
I'll do the
Here,
next
this
page?
is what I want. I want a guy that you're not going to touch no matter what. No matter what. You're
Let's
not
say
touching
let's
him.
say we're
And a guy that you think is horrible value. Where he's
let's say we're 20 picks past his ADP and you're still not
Dante Pettis.
pushing the button.
I
on
can
him.
I can go all day. Guys, I won't draft somebody I don't like. Cooper Kupp, I won't do it. I'll never have him. James White, I won't have him.
That's what
It doesn't
I'm saying.
matter to
Here,
me.
Here, listen. Here,
When I-
okay. Here. A guy that you hate, and a guy that you think is just terrible value.
I could go all day. I'll just tell you guys, when I go into a draft, I know who I'm going to pick. It doesn't. James White could be in the last round, and I won't even look at him. I know who I'm picking that last round. I've got a
That's
guy.
convenient because
That's
James
not my
White
guy.
falls to me, and I don't have a running back too. I'm taking him. I don't care.
Oh, I play a different
don't-
way.
I play a different
play
way.
to lose.
I don't want guys I don't like. I just don't want them.
That's fair. I tried to hit Michael up for a trade, and it ended in pretty much I have guys on my team I like. And I don't want.
I gave Damian Williams for Tevin Coleman, and I'd do it again right now.
That is. Wow. That's
I'll
crazy.
play guys I don't like
All
in
right, give me a
DFS
name.
though.
Give me
I'm
a-
not
gi-
an animal.
Give me a name. Give me a guy that's going in the first 2 rounds.
First two rounds.
First 2 rounds we're not touching. I'm not touching Damian Williams. I'm not doing it.
top
That's-
20.
That's fair. And his name can't be Todd Gurley. So we've got.
Does Kerryon Johnson go in the top 2 rounds?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say that would be easy.
Come on,
Let
man.
me, let me
Hey,
see.
Damian-
Oh,
my
well,
guy.
Damien doesn't even go in the top 2. I kinda
Damien does
cheated
go in
too.
the top 2, but
think
I'll
he goes in the
He's
top
late
2?
second.
if I'm
I've seen him
feeling
going, like,
feeling
third.
weird, I'll take Damien. That's fine. But let's see who's on here that I won't take. Top 2 rounds.
How about here? We hadn't even touched on this guy. What about Dalvin Cook?
Ugh. I don't end up with a lot of Dalvin Cook ever. This just seems too high for him first 2 rounds. I'll play him first week in DFS probably. It's a good matchup, but
Yeah, well, he's
I
gonna be healthy
just-
for week 1.
yeah, I'm not taking him the first 2 rounds.
Okay.
My first 2 round guys, I want them to be people I really believe in because they're all about the same in the first 2 rounds. Like you can make an argument for Dalvin versus Joe
Yeah.
Mixon. Me, I'm a Mixon guy.
I'm least likely taking Mixon actually in those first 2 rounds.
Dalvin always looks a little chubby to me.
I mean, I think Dalvin Cook just has way more opportunity to score in Minnesota. That Mixon on the Bengals is just not going to look good. It's just going to be a bad
Looked okay
season.
last year.
Nothing's going to look good over there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll tell you, I am not taking Antonio Brown. I have him at the turn. We talked about it. I will be. Antonio Brown could finish as wide receiver 1 this year, and I could have the opportunity to take him in the 4th round, and I didn't take him, and I'm cool with it. I don't even care. I just don't believe in the Raiders. I just think it's going to be a disaster still. He may be a little help for Derek Carr, but I don't believe
Randy Moss couldn't even do it in Oakland, and this guy's gonna do it.
it.
Okay, what hype train are you pumping the brakes on, Michael and Will?
Hype train.
I'll go
Hype
ahead
train, I'm
and
pumping the brakes on.
give
Give me a hype train guy, and who's somebody you like? I'll tell you why they suck.
that's not
Oh,
the
I guess-
question. But I mean, you
I
kind
don't
of
wanna
already
be
hit on
DJ
it with
Moore
Dante
again.
Pettis. You're pumping the brakes on that.
Is there a hype train for Dante
I'm-
Pettis?
Yeah, people are loving him, bro.
Who? Name names.
People are
Find
loving
an
Pettis. I'm
address.
Oh my
pumping the brakes
gosh.
on that. I'm pumping the brakes on Chris Godwin. And I'm not touching Latavius Murray. I mean, he's
Yeah, that's a good.
Oh,
That's a good
oh,
one.
oh
I'll
my,
mess
he's
with
the new Mark
Latavius
Ingram.
Murray.
No, I don't believe in that.
He's
Where's
got
he
a little
going?
more juice than Mark Ingram, man.
I don't know about that.
Well, think about this with Latavius Murray. You draft him in the 7th or 8th or whatever.
All right, here you go.
You've got a halfback 3, whatever. You can plug him in, have a shot at a couple touchdowns. If Alvin Kamara goes down, what do you got? Probably a
Divine
halfback one.
Ozigbo.
Who?
Exactly.
No way.
Who?
I don't
Alright,
know if he'll
who
make
you
the
got?
roster.
All right, here you go. Here you go. So still on the Lat Murray train. Darius Geis, Latavius Murray.
You're not. Oh, who do I have?
Redraft. You got to
Oh,
pick one.
Darius Guice.
Mm-mm.
Darius
You-
Guice
you
has
mi- you
potential
missed
to
it.
be the running back one. I mean, come on.
He lobbed that up to you.
I
and you
mean,
missed
sure, Peterson's going to be there taking goal line.
it. Sure, Chris Thompson will have the
Just-
catches.
he's gonna
and sure,
ride-
He's
cream
coming
of
back
the
off of ACL.
But
and
you
the
got a
offense is
guy
no
that
good.
has potential to be the workhorse
But that
versus
doesn't
somebody.
matter when
I
you like him that much.
genuinely think that the Redskins top or bottom 2 offensively
They're trash.
terrible. I think they're going to be behind until they play the Giants. That's going to be an absolute disaster fest. That game won't even be put on TV for people that are even Redskins and Giants fans.
First game, 14-11.
I'm flipping the
Think
script.
about that.
What's happening in Miami backfield, Michael, this season?
Kenyon Drake.
It's just you're
No
confident in
way.
It's
it.
all about the
Ballard.
Drake. You think
Ballard.
Kalen Balaj is gonna get out there?
No.
Mm-mm.
Although
I
will
don't
say
really
love
believe the
Fitzmagic.
Balaj
Drake
stuff
is
either.
Drake is pretty baller.
I want Fitzmagic.
I need to draft more Drake. I'm glad you
They
brought him
just
up.
don't like Drake, is what I'm hearing. But
Okay, so
They had him listed as halfback 1 on the depth chart. That's got to mean something. I don't care if Balaj gets a couple
yeah,
preseason
he's the first one to
carries.
lose his job to Balaj.
all right, my last errant question is my Carolina Panthers homerness not allowing me to put Calvin Ridley in that Lockett DJ Moore tier, or am
No,
I just
yeah.
or
Calvin Ridley,
does he
ugh.
belong there?
I think that
I don't draft Calvin Ridley either.
I don't touch him either, but I don't know if that's me
I'm
hating
not-
the
I'm not-
Falcons with
I'm
a
not.
passion, or if I just
I just don't like him. I'll be real. I just think if I
Look
really
at
wanted
it
to do that, I'll do Mohamed Sanu.
I know you don't like
He could
DJ
throw- he
Moore,
could
but
throw the
I
ball.
know even you were happy when the Falcons took Calvin Ridley first and we got DJ Moore in that
Oh,
draft.
absolutely. But you didn't need him. You had Curtis. But no, he's not a bad compliment to Curtis. But I don't want to talk about that anymore. Could,
All right.
could Stephon Diggs be wide receiver 1 overall if he had a different quarterback, different offense? They let it fly a little bit.
That's so vague.
that is the most
You
hypothetical.
put him
What do you
put
think?
him with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Yeah, he could be the wide receiver 1.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people I could say that about though.
Who's the worst person you could say it about?
Amari Cooper.
You.
Uh,
I don't know about all that.
come on, Amari Cooper with
I'm
Patrick
still-
Mahomes. It would be unreal.
I don't even know.
What about James Washington?
What?
As Patrick Mahomes wide receiver 1, where would he slot in fantasy
James
overall?
Washington.
If he was plugged in Tyreek Hill's role, where would he finish in fantasy?
We'd be-
He gets the targets. What happens here?
We'd be
What- how
taking
big of a
him the
drop-off
same
we
way
talking
we
about?
were taking McCole Hardman. It's the same scenario that we had a couple weeks
no,
ago.
I'm saying he plugs in 1 for 1. Tyreek Hill goes to jail or whatever.
I mean, that's kind of what we thought when everybody was
yeah,
taking
but I'm saying
McCole
James
Hardman.
Washington plugs in as the wide receiver 1 role. He gets the targets and everything.
Where am I taking him?
Where are you taking him? How much of a talent gap do you think there is between Tyreek Hill and James Washington? How
There's
much
a
do you think
huge talent
situation?
gap. It's not
That's what
just
I'm
about
saying. So
speed.
what's the
Tyreek Hill
deal?
can play football.
I understand that. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying what's the deal? I don't like James Washington. I just saw his name on the sheet.
What am I? How am I contradicting myself? I know you're trying to. What did I say?
Huh?
What do you mean? What's the deal?
Sure, wide receiver 2. Fine.
All right, fair enough.
Come on.
I will not.
All right, so here's the last question. How long is it before McCole Hardman takes Sammy Watkins' spot?
Oh, that doesn't happen.
No,
You don't think it happened?
No, McCole
Man.
Hardman's not good at football. They took another fast guy. It was not a good pick.
how many- how
Sammy
many-
Watkins? People forget how good he was and how good
I
he
don't
still
think
can be.
he's
He
bad.
played.
I just-
he
Watkins
played
can
pretty
ball.
Good last year.
I mean, he has balled a few weeks in that offense.
Oh man,
Dude.
I was looking so forward to Tyreek Hill being out.
Yeah, no Tyreek Hill. I was
Oh.
buying Sammy Watkins. I'm not. I was never touching that McCole Hardman.
I'll still buy Sammy Watkins. If you look at Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins' stats when they played together with Watkins healthy, Watkins is not far off, man.
Let's look.
Is McCole Hardman worthless in Dynasty now?
Not worthless.
Not
no.
Where do you take him
No,
in-
I think
He was going
take
late
Sammy-
first in rookie drafts. Where are you taking him now?
in rookie drafts.
Yeah.
Mid-second.
Mid-second?
Yeah,
I mean, I
mid-second.
don't think it changes. You're not drafting Mecole Hardman as soon as Tyreek Hill was reinstated. You're not drafting him to be a huge contributor anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
but I don't
So-
think
so
he.
I'm saying I don't think he's going
mid
to
to late
change.
second.
I'm
Do you-
going mid to late second. I mean, I'm not letting him get into the third, but I'm not touching him.
I think that Sammy Watkins is gone sooner than later. That may just be piping hot. To you too. I know it is for Michael. I think Sammy
I'm
Watkins.
big on Watkins.
Let it roll. Let's see what happens.
Where would he go
let's
next year, you think?
You're getting excited about it.
to the infirmary.
He can't go back to Buffalo. He's been there.
All right, well, wrap us up. I got to go play adult volleyball at the YMCA.
Good luck.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back. Peace.